For nearly 2 years, most student loan borrowers have been spared the obligation of making payments due to financial hardships from the pandemic. Their interest rate has been frozen, and for the millions in default, the collection calls have stopped. Then last week, another temporary reprieve. The White House announced that the moratorium on loan repayment, originally scheduled to expire next month, would be extended another 90 days until May 1st. And while this is a relief for some, others say this is just the Biden White House delaying the inevitable, because any student loan debt you had before the COVID-19 pandemic is still going to be waiting for you in May. And we have heard from viewers who say they are stressed and they just want to know what is going to happen and what their options are here. So today we got a little insight from Leslie Tane. She's an attorney here in New York, specializing in debt relief. She also has multiple children who went through college, including one at UB, so she certainly gets it. So first, let's take a look at the numbers. Nationwide, there are $1.6 trillion in student loan debt right now. About 1 in 8 people in the U.S. currently have student loans. And here in Buffalo, people have an average of $34,000 in student loan debt. The groups with the most debt are women and Black Americans. At some point, the administration will have to make a decision on what to do here. So we asked Leslie what she thinks will happen next.
I think it's going to depend on what's happening at the time. The Biden administration said the last time that this was going to be a final extension of the program and that there would be no more extensions. Under the circumstances, they reevaluated and saw that the pandemic was still impacting those with federal student loans and that this was necessary. So I do think that there'll be another evaluation again before the end of this particular program period. Ultimately, I do believe that there's a potential for this to continue, but that really has nothing to do with public student loan forgiveness. So there's a big difference between the two. Many people ask me all the time about whether I believe that the Biden administration will eliminate or forgive a portion of federal student loans. This program has nothing to do with that consideration. So if you have federal student loans, right now, the idea is that you'll get a continued break in financial obligation. But if you have the money, it's a great opportunity to pay down your federal student loans with the idea that it's unlikely that at any time in the near future, there will be a complete wipeout of student loans or that you individually will qualify for such a program.
And according to one study from the Student Debt Crisis Center, about 90% of school loan debt holders aren't financially stable enough to resume payments right now. Data from the Federal Reserve shows the majority of the debt is held by people in their 30s, but it does tend to follow people late into life, with $130 billion held by people over the age of 60.